This is Talk City, a weekly podcast featuring interviews and events happening around town. Tune into Talk City Greensboro every week on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, and download the podcast from SoundCloud. Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by Greensboro Television Network. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City so you can keep up with what's going on in Greensboro city government. I'm your host, Josh Johnson, and with me again today in the studio is our new co-host, Sarah Healy.
What's up, Greensboro?
Thank you for being back on. It's great to have you. I missed you last time, but I heard it, and you were awesome. So you are totally...
Let's do this.
You're totally in. Do you want to take the intro?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Go for it.
Here at Talk City, we have the pleasure of speaking with Darlene McClinton. She's a superstar here in Greensboro, who is a co-owner of the Artist Bloc, which just marked its 5th year in business in the West Lee Center at 1020 Westgate City Boulevard over by the UNCG campus. Darlene is also an art professor at NCA&T and a muralist. She's got it all going on. Darlene, welcome. We're so happy to have you join us today. Congrats on your 5th year anniversary. And can you tell the listeners about what the Artist Bloc is and how you got started?
Yes. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here. The Artist Bloc is an arts venue where creative minds meet. It's a hub for artists all over, all various artists, and for art lovers. I remember someone asked me, if you're not an artist, can you come to the Artist Bloc? Yes, we welcome you to come. Enjoy the activities. Some of the things of our creative services that we host at the Artist Bloc. We have a gallery where we showcase emerging artists' artworks. We kind of mentor up and coming artists and teach them, gallery etiquette, just professionalism, how to sell their artwork, and how to reach out to the community to get people to buy into them as an artist. We also host creative events such as film festivals, open mic nights, showcases, dance battles, movie nights. Anything dealing with the arts and creativity, you name it, we're doing it. Birthday parties.
And I heard there's beverages.
Yes, we have a full bar. We have a coffee bar as well. And we have juices if you don't want to partake in
coffee.
Coffee. So it's a lot of great things that is happening at the Artist Bloc, and we're really appreciative to be here 5 years.
Yeah, it's a good run.
Yeah, that is a good run. Actually, I was going to say, it's pretty intimidating and pretty amazing to start your own business and then keep it going for 5 years. So how did you get that started?
Yes. I agree. One of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life is own a brick and mortar business, because there's other entrepreneurs out there, but they may not have a brick and mortar, so you can just pick up and go. A brick and mortar is like having a child. Once you create that baby, you got to be there to raise that baby, nurture that baby. You're giving the baby everything it actually needs. So I had a vision of the Artist Bloc when I lived in Washington, D.C. I was getting my master's in painting and digital art. And I'm not going to talk your heads off, but it's a small little story. I thought about Oprah, I thought about Jay-Z, I thought about Bill Gates, and I was like, how are these people successful? And I realized in order to become successful, you have to have a vision. So I prayed every morning at the age of 27, God, I woke up in the morning, God, please birth in me a vision of success. Please birth in me a vision of success. And then after praying that prayer for a year, the Artist Bloc was born.
Wow.
It was similar. My inspiration came from a place in D.C. called Busboys and Poets. If y'all have a chance, you should check it out. And I knew I was coming back to Greensboro to give back to the city, and I knew I was coming back to A&T to give back to my alum. So I always wanted to open up an art supply store. My best friend now, business partner, was into coffee. And she said, how about put a coffee shop and art supply store? So that was our original idea. And we started the Artist Bloc with initially $1,200. I do want to tell people that.
Wow.
$1,200. Wow. And what inspired me is I was reading the story of Pizza Hut, and they started Pizza Hut with $400.
So, what?
$400 Pizza
Really?
Hut. And look at that company.
Yeah.
And I knew then, I was like, if Pizza Hut could just take $400 to start, I could start the Artist Bloc. So We started initially with $1,200. My mentor sat with me and said, hey, do you have any investors? I said, no, I never even thought about investors. So we did find some private funding to grow the money a little bit more before we actually opened up. And the title of the Artist Block was inspired by the Writer's Block, but we spell it BLOC because block with a K means that you cannot get through. But we wanted the Artist Block to be where creative minds could come and get a break and break through their creative blocks.
Yeah, I love that. You have to give a shout out to your business partners too here if they're listening.
Yes. One of my the COO and the CFO, her name is Watricia Schuler. She's an A&T alum. Her art is film, so she's a filmmaker. Nice. She also can draw. She took a couple of classes with Jim Barnhill at A&T and things like that. And then my third business partner, who's silent, but she runs our nonprofit sector. Her name is Sunny Gravely, and she was actually my teacher at A&T. So she just believed enough in me to invest into me, and then she ended up becoming a partner. But she's the daughter of Clinton E. Gravely and Associates, the architectural firm here that's been here for such a long time. Wow. And her art is, she's a painter. She calls herself a professional artist, but she's a painter, and she does collage work.
Very cool.
Love it. I love it. Yeah. Well, let's switch gears here for a minute. Don Kane with the News and Record recently featured the Artist Block and mentioned a big event coming up on the 23rd, the Bloc Awards. You had 350 attendees last year. Tell us about it. What kind of awards do you guys give out? Will there be a red carpet? Give us the scoop.
I would say that the Bloc Awards was actually born out of an event that I host every last Friday of the month called Creative Infusion. And what we do is we infuse all the arts. So at this particular event, you'll see poetry, hip hop, comedy, theater, live music, singing, dancing, improv, whatever type of artists that want to come and showcase their talents, we do that. So each year we always do an anniversary to celebrate every year of us being in business. And we did 2 red carpet events at the Artist Block. And I was like, we need to take what we're doing to the next level. And I decided to do something called the Bloc Awards. And that event is basically created instead of us always chasing Hollywood, everybody moving to a big city or moving to Chicago, New York, California. Why not create a platform where we could bring Hollywood to us? So that's how the Bloc Awards was born, to create platforms for the triad artists. Now, at the Artist Block, we are a for-profit business. We cannot pay every artist that comes to the Artist Block. We try, but we can't. But what we can do is tell you thank you. We appreciate you. So this is what the Bloc Awards is about, is celebrating arts excellence and telling all the artists we appreciate you. The community sees what you're doing. Keep up the good work. We're going to do this annually, just celebrating, honoring different artists. And the carpet is purple. Purple carpet, not red.
Darlene, how can artists get involved with the Artist Block? If I'm an artist out there, this sounds awesome to me. What should I do? What's my first step?
The first step is just to show up.
Okay.
Just come to the Artist Block, show up. My number is a very public number, so a lot of people just reach out to me, or either on social media. We get a lot of direct messages where people are saying, hey, I want to perform, I want to rent the space, I want to host my own event. Just come to us, and we'll be willing to help you with all these opportunities.
And Sarah informed me just before the show started that you have been chosen to work at the new Battleground Parks District. That
Featured
you're going to
muralist.
be, you're going to be doing a mural for that, which is amazing. Tell us a little bit about that.
I am super excited about the project. I applied for it. And every time you apply for a mural, you don't normally get it, but every so often you will. And this is one opportunity that they provided me. So that process, I will start painting that mural between the September 1st and September 30th. And it's a very creative mural. I used a lot of elements and symbolism from the city of Greensboro, the Natural Science Center, the military part, country part, and the battleground part. I am an accomplished muralist. I have 6 murals already in the city of Greensboro.
Wow.
And my goal is to paint and travel all over the world, painting as many walls as possible. That's what I do. That's what I want to do besides the artist block.
In your spare time.
In my spare time.
Is there already? So can I? You tell me if I can't ask this because you're upstairs.
There's no rules here.
Okay.
Go for it.
Is there already a wall? Are they going to put a wall up specifically for the mural? Have they told you where you're going to be? What you're working on?
It's already a wall.
Okay.
It's where if you were to go to Country Park and you walk the trail. And you see the lakes. It's right there by the lake, the trail, and the playground area.
Okay.
And it's kind of like behind the Natural Science Center a little bit. If you look up the hill, you can see the Natural Science Center.
Cool.
I mean, that's huge. You're going to have the carousel there, the Science Center, Darlene's mural. It's all happening. The swan boats.
It's going to be the place to be.
Well, Darlene, I have to give you a shout out because you served as a volunteer member of the Greensboro Cultural Arts Master Plan Task Force. Out of the task force, a plan called Creative Greensboro was adopted by council to foster and strengthen the arts and culture. Part of this was to create a supportive environment for the arts and artists and cultural organizations. But how do you do that with the Artist Block? I feel like you're doing that right now, too.
Yes, I do consider the Artist Block a part of Creative Greensboro. One of the biggest ways that we are I would say a part of it and impacting the community is that we are paying artists. We are creating a economic boost in a sense where we are feeding the community through money.
Well, that's huge because a lot of times there'll be opportunities for artists, but they're not paying opportunities.
Right.
Yeah. And they need to be paid just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's huge. Thank you for doing that.
Yes. All right. Before you start asking another question, we're going to take a quick break and just throw out a couple of things that are coming up, and then we'll be right back. Sarah, you want to take the first one, or you want me to go?
Sure. Celebrate the end of summer and summer reading with ice cream and literary character bingo this Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Kathleen Clay Edwards Family Branch Library, located at 1420 Price Park Road. This program is free for the entire family. Check out greensboro-nc.gov for more information on this and upcoming events.
And on Sunday, head over to Center City Park at 200 North Elm Street at 5 p.m. for Pilates in the Park. This is a free exercise program designed to focus on the body's core and improve flexibility. Pilates works deeper in the core, unlike any other method of movement. So for more information on this and additional programming happening at the Greensboro Downtown Parks, check out the LeBauer Park Facebook page. And we're back. Thanks, Sarah.
Oh, thank you. So, Darlene, you clearly have a passion for the arts. Mm-hmm. How would you describe the art scene in Greensboro to those who don't live here?
I think the arts scene here in Greensboro is growing every single day. I think that it really connects the community. It's an intergenerational connection as well. That's one thing at the Artist Block. Sometimes you can go to the Artist Block, you'll see somebody in there at 18, and then you'll also see somebody in there at the same time that's 60, 65 years old. And why can they sit in the same room together? Because most of the time, those two generations don't like to be in a room together like that. It's because it is the art. So that's what I see happening in Greensboro. It's a lot of great creative leaders now in Greensboro. It's the buzz of the arts. The murals are popping up. Everybody is super excited about Creative Greensboro and the arts and the initiatives that's happening in the city. I'm super excited about what's happening in the city of Greensboro, and we're going to keep the ball rolling.
Nice.
I like it. Let's keep the momentum going. Darlene, you couldn't have said it any better.
So with artists, where do you kind of see Artist Block going? I mean, have you thought about expanding your brand or opening a chain or additional Artist Blocks? Like Pizza Hut?
Right. Yes. We do plan on expanding in the very near future. We really don't have a choice. We've kind of outgrown our location right now.
That's a good
I was telling Don that we see about 100 artists a week. Sometimes we could see 100 artists in a day. So we do really do need to expand, but my goal is to turn it into a chain. So ultimately, I do want one in D.C. because ultimately I kind of want to move back to D.C.
Don't blame me.
But I'm thinking about experimenting first in the city of Charlotte and seeing how test the market and see how we're able to grow in a very more busier competitive area. But the goal is to chain and to expand and just to keep having a space for all creative minds to gather, network, and just be themselves, express themselves.
That's cool. And I don't know if you asked her this, but I'm curious. Now, anybody can come into the artist block. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be an artist.
No.
Okay.
You do not have to be an artist. I would say 60% of our following are artists, all different types. Visual artists, that's muralists, photographers. We have performing artists, that's all various types. That's dancers, that's theaters, that's improv. But 40% of our following is people that are lovers of the art, or they just want a good place to go and not when they don't want to go to a club. They want to come in, have a glass of wine, snap their fingers,
Nice.
Sit, relax, and just hug people and leave. So I would say that it's a place for everyone that loves creativity, that do not like drama. That's the type of people we like at the Artist Block. Drama-free to come. And it's a non-judgment zone. So that's what people love about the Artist Block. We do not judge anybody on anything. It's family-oriented.
That's cool.
And that's no Simon Cowell's here.
Yes,
that's
no
right.
Simon
That's
Cowell's.
right. We don't need another one of those.
Yeah. And I would say one last thing. One of the things that keeps me going, because I don't necessarily at this moment draw a salary from the Artist Block, and that's one of the things that people don't realize about what businesses. It takes a while for a business to grow and for people to make money. We make enough money to pay the bills and our staff and the artists that come in there. But what keeps me going is the fact that people come up to me and say that the Artist Block is home. The Artist Block has saved their lives. The Artist Block is something that we need. Even when I'm frustrated, I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about, not continuing with the Artist Block. They say, no, let me know what you need. We're there. We need this in the community. So that's what kind of drives me at this moment. But
That's
I
awesome.
do want to check.
That's awesome. Well, we got to get you that check. What can you share with people listening what your website is? How can they learn more about the Artist Block?
Yes, our website is www.theartistblock.com. Go to our website. We are Artist Block on all social media, and come out to the Block Awards. It's going to be a great event. O. Henry Magazine reached out to us. I'm so excited. They're coming to cover the story for their spread. Cool. I was like, oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry and us. Right. You're having a good week.
Right. So come on out.
Do you have any advice you might give for someone who's thinking about starting their own business? Maybe something in creative arts?
Yes. My advice would be to start your business very small. I always tell this story. It's going to be a very quick story. Well, I'm a college professor now, but I started off as a babysitter. Then I was a tutorer. Then I was a substitute teacher. Then I taught middle school art. Then I went to the college level. So it's very steps. You just can't jump into it. And with the Artist Block, I experimented first with getting a small studio space at Uptown Greensboro and selling art supplies just to see if it was going to work. Mm-hmm. Then I knew, okay, we can go ahead and launch the business. So I would say do it, but do all your research. Business people have told me businesses fail because you fail to plan, and that is very true. And start small, grow, build your customer service up, and then get a brick and mortar. Because a brick and mortar, everything in your life doubles. You have 2 rents or mortgages, 2 water bills, 2 light bills, 2 of everything. So grow first in a small space, rent something out. Once your customer base is there, then jump into the brick and mortar stage. That's what I would say. Nobody told me that. So we just been struggling.
Well, Darlene, when you've got your chains going, I can say I knew you when. And we're so honored to have you on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And thanks for making
me.
such an amazing space for people, for creatives. So we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, this is the part where I usually go into this really cool scripted ending to the show, but I neglected to add that to the script. So we just want to thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for being here.
Happy to be here. Thank you, Darlene.
And
Thank you all.
Yeah, you'll be back for the next one, I think.
Okay, unless I'm double parked.
So for
That's an old dad joke. Sorry, folks.
That's a good one. So for more information, you can download our podcast from Stitcher, SoundCloud, Let me refer back to the beginning of the script and try to find the other places. But there's lots of places you can get the podcast.
You
can
know,
also,
the Google Plays.
yeah, the Google
The
Plays,
iTunes.
the iTunes, all those wonderful podcast places. And be sure and check out GTN for local government programming. We're actually more than government programming, but you can keep up with council meetings and other information and things going on in the city. You can visit us at greensboro-nc.gov to find out what's happening and to check out the latest Gate City. Nope, that's a different show. This is Talk City. Talk City,
Stay focused,
Greensboro.
friend.
I know. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.